Hi guys, and welcome back to this week's vlog. Now, I actually filmed this vlog about 2.5 weeks ago, and it's all been a little bit manic these last 4 weeks, which I'm going to go into in this vlog, hence why there hasn't been a vlog out. Now, I do want to keep this vlog not too long, but yeah, it's all been very manic, and I had the vlog all edited. I just needed to save it and upload it, but been a few weeks and I've tried to do it and none of the videos are coming up basically, which means I'm gonna have to redo this vlog, which is really annoying. Now, if you're wondering what the banners are, it was my birthday 2 days ago. I turned 19, which I literally cannot believe I'm in my last year of a teenager. It's really scary that next year I'm going to be going into my 20s, which is crazy. But yeah, anyway, let's get on to what this vlog is about. So if you guys follow me on Instagram and you've been watching my stories and been seeing my posts, then you guys will already know. But I do know there is quite a lot of you that don't follow me on Instagram because you don't have Instagram and you only see what I get up to and what's going on in my life through here. So 4 weeks ago, I was riding a friend's horse. Ridden it about 5 or 6 times, basically just to help a friend out. It's actually one of my mum's friends, because she only really does flat work. She doesn't take the horse out hacking just because it's not really her sort of thing to do. She only likes doing like dressage and riding in the school basically. And this horse is an ex-racer, so obviously he needs to be doing lots of different stuff instead of going around in a school. But she doesn't like doing hacking or doing anything else other than doing like dressage. So she asked if I'd be interested in hacking her horse out, and she'd be happy for me to take him on fun rides and things just so he has a little bit of a variety. And she also said I'd be able to jump him just so he's doing something different, and then she would do the flat work and do like the dressage competitions because that's what she enjoys to do. So I said yes, I will hack him out. So I went up there 4 or 5 times hacking him out. The first time I hacked him out, he was a little bit of a nutter, which I don't blame him because he hadn't been hacked out in God knows how long. I think it was excitement that he was going out doing something different, and also a bit probably anxious, like, oh my god, what are we doing, like, sort of thing. So he was really good on the way out. On the way back, we were rodeoing down a very steep hill like this, but it was fine. I just kicked him on and he was fine. Rode him like a couple days later and he had improved so much. On the first ride, he sweated up within like 5 minutes. He had like white foam. Now he is fit, so it's not that he's unfit. It was just through excitement, and I think he was a bit anxious and a bit stressed. So yeah, each ride I was doing on him, he was improving. We wasn't getting the rodeoing or anything, and he was getting better. Now the plan was I rode him on the Monday, and then on the weekend there was a fun ride, and his owner asked if I'd be interested in taking him, and I said yep, I'll take him. Now we have no idea what he's like in open spaces, on a fun ride. We literally have no idea. So I said, first of all, I'd like to take him for a canter because I hadn't cantered him yet, and see what he's like to be cantered. If he's okay, then I'm willing to take him on a fun ride. But because he's never done a fun ride before and we have no idea how he's going to be with it, I think we should go as the last rider on the fun ride so that we don't have any horses galloping up past us, which he could basically blow his brains at. We just wanted him to have a nice trip out in the trailer, and just have a nice ride where he enjoys it and just get him out. So that was our plan. And obviously I was going to go with a friend. I was going to meet up with one of my friends who I do fun rides with, and yeah, go and do the fun ride. So that was the plan. But the first thing was taking him for a canter to see what he was like, because his owner's only ever cantered him in an arena and he's never done like a fun ride or anything like that before. So there's no bridle paths or anything where I hack him out. So his owner said, look, we've got the field, come and ride him in the field, take him for a canter in there. And I thought, perfect, because that's an open space, we'll see what he's like with that as well. So that was the plan. So a few days later I went down to ride him into the field. So we were hacking down, well, not hacking, but going down to their field. My mum, his owner, come down to watch because it was walking distance, and she obviously wanted to see what he was like. And we actually decided before I'd done that ride that maybe we should take him somewhere or hack out with someone else, because we didn't know what he was like riding with one other horse. So we thought, instead of putting us into that situation on a fun ride where it's very exciting, different environment, there's tracks, there's fields, all sorts, there's going to be horses when tacking up and things, let's actually see what he's like in a nice controlled environment with another horse, if he's going to blow his brains or be as good as gold, because he is a very stressy type, and his owner has worked very, very hard with him. He hasn't been an easy horse at all on the ground or anything. He has not been easy at all, and a lot of work has gone into him, and we didn't want to take him to this fun ride and basically blow his brains and then basically undo all the work that his owner's done, because she has worked hard with him. So that's what we were very cautious about. So we both decided, yeah, let's arrange with a friend to go and meet up and see what he's like. So I actually messaged a friend and we were arranging it. And I said, first of all, I just want to take him for a canter on my own, and then we'll go from there. So this night I was hacking him down to the field. We went through one bit of the field. You have to go under a tunnel. On top of the tunnel is like a link road. He's fine with that, went under it. Was hacking through to the next bit where we had to go under another tunnel to get to the other side of the field. But on top of the other tunnel is a train track. Bearing in mind the field that I was going to ride in, this horse is turned out in every single day. He's out 24/7 with the option of coming in and out of his stable, because he's a very funny type. He's very stressy. He can't have the stable door shut on him, else he absolutely freaks out. Yeah, he's not the easiest of horses. He gets turned out in this field all the time, so he's used to the train going up and down all the time. He's never ever batted an eyelid. Even like the first time he went down there, he just stands when the train goes over. You guys probably know where this is going. As we get there, we hear the train, and we thought, oh, we didn't think about looking at the train times to see when they were coming over the bridge. But equally, we didn't think about it because we know that he hears it like all the time and he's never been a problem. So I heard the train coming, and we were still quite a way back from the tunnel. Like, I wasn't under the tunnel, I wasn't really close to the tunnel. Like, we were close enough, but also, if it makes sense, far enough away. So I just stood him still and I thought, right, we'll wait for the train to go over the tunnel. I honestly did not worry about it at all, because I generally thought, I've seen him out in the field when the train's gone over, and I've seen that he literally does not bat an eyelid. So I just stood him still, and I didn't have a tight contact, because he's the type of horse, which I figured out from riding him pretty much on the first ride. If you have a short contact on him, he gets all silly, basically, and you cannot ride him with a short contact. You have to have a loose rein, and he'll just walk. He won't be like jig jogging, going sideways and sorts. So I didn't have a tight contact because I knew it would make him all like, oh god, what's going to happen? So I just stood there. The train came over the track and he literally blew his brains, spun, bolted, was bucking. From where he bucked, I landed on his neck. I stayed on for pretty much all of it. If I stayed on a bit longer, I would have been fine. As I was on his neck, I was trying to pull him back to like come back to a stop. There was just nothing. So I basically come out the side door, which knocked me out unconscious. Luckily my mum was there. My mum come running over to me. Now, bearing in mind, obviously I had no idea that I was knocked out until I basically come round, and my mum told me. I was completely not aware of it. Apparently she was shouting my name and there was just literally nothing. So she obviously called the ambulance. So luckily I wasn't unconscious for very long. I can remember when I come round, my mum talking on the phone to the ambulance. But even when I come round, it's really weird. I still had no idea, if you know what I mean, until my mum said. And even when she said it to me, I didn't believe it. As stupid as that sounds, I was like, no, I wasn't. I was fine. She was like, no, seriously, you were. Now the horse, as I come off, so basically my mum said where I come off the horse, I kind of flipped roly-polied. So I come off like over there and I landed over here, and my head was like down and my body was all twisted. It was really hard to explain. The horse galloped off back to the stables, so obviously his owner went and sorted him out. By the way, the horse is absolutely fine. Me on the other hand, didn't come off so light. I was incredibly lucky that I didn't come off any worse. Like, I was so lucky because my head hit the concrete. So it was in a field, but the bit was like stony, gravelly concrete, and that's where my head landed. Obviously, I had my riding hat on, but I was so lucky that it wasn't any more serious. But I haven't come off lightly. When I come around, I was complaining about my ankle, nothing else. The owner of the horse's next door neighbour was is a doctor, but used to work at the hospital like as a surgeon or something, but she's now a doctor. She come down and basically assessed me with my head, my spine, basically everything, was talking to me. I took some paracetamol. We waited for the ambulance for 2.5 hours and the ambulance still hadn't arrived. At this point, so I went to ride this horse at 6 o'clock. At this point, and it happened pretty much straight away. I mean, I tacked up the horse and it happened at about 20 past 6:30 and we waited 2.5 hours. I was getting really cold, obviously it was shock, it was getting late, it was nearly dark, so the doctor said, look, if we can get you up, I think it will be better to drive you to the hospital because you'll get there quicker and you need to be seen to and you're getting cold and it's not going to do you any good. Because obviously she is a doctor and she checked my spine and everything, she said that I was fine to get into the car to drive to the hospital. So everyone helped me get up because I couldn't put any weight down on my ankle. My mum brought the car down into the field and luckily I got into the car and we drove straight to the hospital. We were in the hospital for about 8 hours. I had an x-ray on my ankle. I will insert a photo of how swollen it was when I was sat waiting for my x-ray. It was quite swollen and everyone was saying, you've broken it, you've definitely done something. And then I had my x-ray. We had to wait like probably 2 hours to wait for my x-ray results. And then I was told that I'd only sprained my ankle. So I didn't want a sprained ankle, but compared to having like a broken ankle or fractured ankle, I was like, perfect, a sprain. Now I know some sprains can be really bad, but I was thinking, I'll be fine by the weekend. So this happened on a Wednesday evening. I was like, I'll be fine by the weekend. I'll be definitely back at work for next week, definitely. They gave me crutches and I said, how long have I got to be on these crutches for? They said, literally, as soon as you can start to weight bear and walk, come off your crutches and you'll be fine, just go back to normal. I was like, perfect, absolute perfect. Obviously, I had to message my work, be like, sprained my ankle, but I should be back next week. And I was like, at least I'm not having to wait like 6 weeks, like even if it's a week or whatever. Like, I wasn't thinking it was going to be a week, but that's not as bad as like 6 weeks. So anyway, waited till the weekend, still couldn't weight bear. Went and got a new riding hat because obviously I landed on my head and you're meant to replace them on each fall. So I got a new riding hat ready to start my job because, as you guys know, my job is riding horses, so I need to make sure my head's protected, and there was definitely no way I'd be able to ride in my old riding hat again. Got to the Monday, still couldn't weight bear. Come the Tuesday, I managed to get my deck shoe on. I was like, it's fine. By the Wednesday, I was able to get my deck shoe on with a sock. By the Thursday, I was weight bearing and I was hobbling around. I wasn't walking properly, but I was hobbling around. By this point, it had been just over a week. The fact that I could get a shoe on and could start hobbling around, I was like, I'm going to be back at work on Monday. Definitely. If I'm like this, give it another 4 days, I'm going to be back at work. Gets to the Friday morning, I'm laid in bed. My mum gives me a call and says she's had a phone call from the hospital to say that I must be in a lot of pain because I haven't sprained my ankle, I fractured it and broken it. My mum was like, what? Because my x-ray was checked twice the night my accident happened to be confirmed that it was only a sprain. I was in pieces when my mum told me that. I was like, nope, that can't be right because I've just started walking on it. Like, that cannot be right. Like, they've checked it twice. Nope, they're wrong. The hospital wanted me to go back in there to have another x-ray and to be put into a cast. no, that did not go down well, guys. Let's just say I was in absolute pieces, thinking like, this is me out now for 6 weeks. You know, there's going to be no riding, no working. I absolutely love my job. It's literally my dream job. I'm not going to be able to work for 6 weeks. Like, you know, I was in absolute pieces. I really didn't want to cast on. I've broken both my arms basically when I was like 4, 6 weeks after another, believe it or not. So I have broken bones before and things. I would have imagined I had a cast, but it was so long ago I can't even remember. I just remember being in the sling, but I really didn't want to cast on, and yeah, I was like, no, it's not happening. No, you're wrong. Anyway, went to the hospital, had another x-ray, was confirmed I had broken it and fractured it, but where I had fractured my ankle, it was a really serious fracture. So as you guys know, I only fractured my other ankle, so luckily it's not the same ankle, thankfully. I'm gonna have 2 dodgy ankles now, but my last fracture I done on my last ankle, I was very lucky with. It wasn't serious or anything. With this fracture, where it is, it's in my talus bone, which I never heard of before. And it's to do with like your blood flow and things, so it's really quite serious. It's a real vital fracture. And then I've just broken my ankle. So they did say to me that I'll have to go to fracture clinic like the following week, like the next week, and they'll speak to me about having surgery, but it's very unlikely that I'll need to have surgery. As soon as they said surgery, I was like, no, not having surgery, can't have surgery, because I don't know what it is. The thought of surgery just freaks me out. As stupid as that sounds, it literally freaks me out. I don't know what it is. I've been very, very lucky that I've never had to have surgery in my life before. But the thought of surgery, it's not like I've had a bad experience or anything from a previous surgery. The thought of surgery, the thought of being put to sleep, which I have been put to sleep before, probably when I was about 6 or 7, I might have been slightly older, to have a tooth out. Yeah, just the thought of it just freaks me out. I don't know what it is. But he said it was very unlikely. So the next day we had a phone call from Exeter Hospital, which is basically just a bigger hospital to our local one that does more stuff and things. And they said for me to go up there for fracture clinic. Now, when they say you need to go to Exeter, it's a lot bigger hospital. They offer more things. It does mean it's serious. So yeah, and they said to me, don't eat from midnight on the Monday, don't eat anything until you come to see us, just in case you need to have surgery. Now guys, I cannot explain how nervous I was all weekend, worrying to death that there is a chance that I might need surgery. I can't explain to you. I went there on the Tuesday and I was just trying to be as positive as possible, to be like, no, I'm not going to need surgery, like I'm going to be fine, like we're literally winging it, like we're going to be fine. I wait for my meeting, wait to go in for my appointment, and he says, you're going to need surgery because the fracture is very, very serious, and if I don't have the surgery, my ankle will probably need to be fused, which means I won't be able to move my ankle, and within like 3 to 4 months I'll get really bad arthritis in the ankle. And with me only being 19, I was 18 at the time, you know, that's very young to have arthritis, and having my ankle fused and might never actually be able to walk properly again. Like, yeah, I need to have surgery. And he did say to me, look, you could have this surgery and still might end up needing to have your ankle fused. He said you are going to get arthritis in your ankle, but instead of it happening like 3 to 6 months time, it will hopefully happen later on down the line. And he said I'm never ever going to have full movement in my ankle again. But I'm going to have more movement in it than what I would if I didn't have the surgery, basically. And he said by having the surgery, I will recover that bit quicker than if I didn't have the surgery. But yeah, he said, you know, I'm not saying that I'm going to fix your ankle and you're not going to need other stuff done to it. But there's a higher chance that you'll be okay by having the surgery. So I, again, was in pieces because I was having surgery that day. And that was something that I'd obviously been dreading all weekend. So I was literally crying my eyes out about it. But but I knew that it had to be done because obviously if I didn't, I'd be worse off. So it happened very, very quickly. I got told at about 11 o'clock that I was having surgery. By 10 to 12, I was going into theatre to have it. I was honestly so nervous. But yeah, I don't like needles, so having a cannula put in, I had to have it back in April when I had the really bad tonsillitis. But I was fine with it. I went into the theatre and they obviously put the stuff in to put you to sleep. And I remember looking at the clock, it was 10 to 12, and then one of the nurses said to me, "Oh, I'm going to Wales in a few days." I remember her saying that. The other doctor was like, "Right, in 20 seconds, you'll be out of it." The nurse said, "Just think of something nice." So, of course, I thought of Dan the whole time. And within God knows how long, 20 seconds, I was out of it. Can't remember anything. I remember them putting a mask on my mouth. And I came around in like a little room at 2:30. My surgery was an hour and a half. I've had to have metal pins put into my ankle to stop my talus from corroding, because that was another thing. If I didn't have the surgery to have the pins put in, basically my ankle would just corrode like that, and then that's when I would need to have fuses in, basically. So I've got metal pins into my ankle now, which is pretty crazy. And I came round. Now, normally you get really weird dreams when you are under anaesthetic, and normally when you come around, you're away with fairies. I remember the last time when I had my tooth done, when I was under anaesthetic, I come around talking a load of rubbish. I was not like that at all. I literally came around, I was a bit groggy, but I was not away with fairies with it at all. I was just normal. I then got wheeled into, once I come around, into another room, and they gave me some toast. I ate the toast. I had to stay around for like an hour, maybe an hour and a half, to make sure that I came around all right with my anaesthetic. And I needed to go toilet. They needed to make sure I could eat and just make sure I was okay, basically. I had the cast on my leg. My mum got a photo, so I'll insert it. And also, I forgot to say, I'll insert, when I thought I sprained my ankle, I'll insert all the photos of like the bruising on my ankle and how swollen it was. And yeah, after an hour, I had to have an injection, which the nurse done, and she told me I had to inject myself every single day for 14 days. It's basically to stop me from getting like a blood clot, because obviously I'm just going to be sat around. My leg has to be up. My leg's not going to be moving, like not going to be moving around. So there's a chance I could get a blood clot, and blood clot is very serious and you can die from it. So by having this injection, there is still a chance I could obviously get a blood clot, but it's to basically help me from not trying to get one. So she gave me the injection the first night, the day I had the surgery, and then she sent me home with basically the rest of my injections, where I had to inject myself every single day, which was horrible. Like I said, I'm not very good with needles, but I was fine with it. Like, I was literally fine, because I just thought to myself, look, if I don't have this injection, I could get a blood clot and I could die. Simple as. So I knew it needed to be done, so I was fine. It did hurt every night, but it's fine. I've done it. We are now 2.5 weeks on from my surgery, and literally the day after I had surgery, I started vlogging. So I had my cast and everything on. So they gave me some codeine to take. I was honestly expecting. So basically what they had to do is they had to put a nerve block into my leg, which is basically to numb it, so obviously didn't feel anything when they cut my foot open and done everything. So I had the nerve block, which numbed my leg. They told me when I came round that my leg will be numb for 24 to 48 hours. Then I'll start to get pins and needles, and I'll start to feel my leg, and then I might be in really bad pain with it. So I could start to feel my ankle was coming around. It took 48 hours. So I took a codeine, because I thought, I don't know what this pain's going to be like. Get it into my system, so when it starts hurting, hopefully I'll be okay with it. Honestly, guys, I've been incredibly lucky. I do know that I have a really, really good pain threshold, but I've not been in pain with my ankle at all since having surgery. Like, literally, I've been in no pain with it at all. When I first done my ankle the night of the accident, the first week I was in literally agony, but after the first week I've not been in any pain with it before my surgery or after surgery, which is just amazing. I know I do have really good healing as well, which I'm incredibly lucky with. But yeah, I honestly thought I'd be in so much pain how they said it, but I've not been in any pain with it at all. I've been so lucky. I've had to keep my cast on for 2 weeks, and obviously I'm on crutches. On Monday just gone, I went back to the hospital to have my cast off. Thankfully, hated that cast on. I was so restricted, haven't been able to go to bed or anything. I've been laying, well, my bed's basically been sofa, but after Monday I've been able to go to bed because they've took my cast off, they cleaned where my wounds were, they've took my stitches out, which was very weird. I was a bit nervous about having the stitches out, but it was fine. I could just feel a bit of a pinch, but it was fine. They put I can't think what it is, like something over it. They told me not to take it off for 2 days. Can't think what it is. And then dressing, that's it. And then yeah, had that on, and they've put me in a moon boot, which is what I had when I fractured my last ankle. So I am used to that. It's still not a nice thing to have, but compared to a cast, I'd much rather have the moon boot. I'm not allowed to weight bear for another 4 weeks, which will be 6 weeks then. So once I hit the 4-week mark in 4 weeks' time, that'll be 6 weeks since me having surgery, but 7 weeks since having my accident. Once I get to the 4-week mark in 4 weeks' time, I am having an x-ray to see how I'm getting on with it, if it's healing well and things. Fingers crossed it is. And then I can start to weight bear. But I can't I can't just stand up and just walk, basically. Potentially might be able to get a trainer on at that point. I might not be able to, we'll have to see. But when I mean by weight bear, I'll have to start off with like 35% weight bear and then slowly build it up to obviously 100%. So I am out of action for quite a while. Obviously I know with any normal break, any normal fracture, it's literally just a 6 weeks, and then you can start to go normally. But because of the fracture that I have had, it is very serious, and the place where it is, it's going to take a little bit longer than a normal fracture and break. So yeah, I am going to be out of action for a little while, but I'm thinking positive. You know what, guys, I know I probably seem really positive right now. I haven't been positive. The amount of tears I have had in the last 4 weeks, with my ankle, you know, with it being summer, not being able to do anything, with me just bringing Dan back to the showing season, you know, I've missed out already on so many shows. I'm going to be missing out on a lot more shows. I can't explain to you how gutted I am, and although I'm being very positive about it now and seem fine, trust me, it has not been the case. The tears I have had from not being able to ride, honestly, not being able to ride is killing me. I'm not gonna lie, because you know, I ride every single day. My work is riding as well. I ride 4 horses a day. To now go into not riding anything at all, it kills me. It honestly does. And I am really struggling. Being at home, I'm not the type of person to sit around at home all day. I am out all the time. I'm always doing things. So being stuck at home where I can't just get up, and you know, it has restricted me from so much stuff, like silly things, just going to the kitchen to get something to eat. I can't because I'm on crutches. Bringing a drink in, bringing my dinner in, like, it stopped me on so many things. It's ridiculous, you know. Just not being able to go to bed, like just the simplest things that I can't do. It's really frustrating. And yeah, I'm really struggling being sat around at home. I'm not the type of person to watch TV. I will watch YouTube, but to be honest, I know this sounds really pathetic, I don't really want to watch YouTube and watch horses, because I don't really want to watch horses because I know I can't do it myself, which I know is really pathetic. But yeah, I'm not finding it easy at all. And the fact that I had so much planned this summer, horsey and non-horsey, and not being able to do it at all has, yeah, I've really struggled with it. I really have. And obviously I go down and see the horses every single night. I've given Dan a brush, like, but there's only so much I can do, and with me being on crutches, it does stop me. I can go out the house. I have been out the house and been and done stuff, like really silly stuff, you know, that I can't go very far on my crutches and things, and my friends have come out, I've seen my friends and things, and yeah, my biggest thing that I'm struggling with the most is not being able to ride and not being able to work, because I loved my job so much. That's what I'm struggling with the most. I'm missing stuff with Dan. That's what I'm really struggling with. But I'm staying positive about it. But these last 4 weeks really, really, really have not been easy. They have been very, very difficult. It was my birthday 2 days ago, and I did have a really nice day. We went out for lunch, went out for dinner. I had a really, really nice day. I was expecting my birthday to be a lot worse because I was on crutches and not being able to do anything and stuff, but it wasn't bad at all. I had a really nice day. But yeah, I'm not finding it easy, guys. I'm not. And this isn't me coming for sympathy or anything like that. I'm just being honest, because I know there's people out there that you might be going through the same boat. You've had an injury and out of action, and you guys, I know how you feel. But yeah, I am struggling big time, but it's fine. So in 4 weeks' time, I'll have more of an outcome. Hopefully, I'm hoping I'll be able to get a trainer on, but yeah, we'll hopefully be able to start to weight bear. I'll obviously keep you guys updated. I am allowed to move my ankle, so I've got these exercises where I have to go like this. And honestly, on Monday when I done it, I could not move my foot. Like he said, move your foot, the physio. I couldn't even lift my toe up. I literally could not move it, and I was shocked. I was really, really, really shocked that I couldn't move my foot, because when he said it to me, I thought, oh yeah, I'll be able to just move my foot up. I could not move my foot at all, and I also almost felt deflated, because I was like, this is going to take a lot longer than I thought. Also, I've lost all my muscle in my calf, which I knew I would. I was expecting to lose muscle, of course, but I didn't realise how much muscle I would have lost. It's honestly so much smaller than my other one. I've got a funny photo where you can see the difference, but it's all red. It's basically red from where I've had the disinfectant, and I literally had my cast off that night, and I wasn't able to wash it for 2 days, so that's why it was red. But don't worry, guys, I've cleaned it since. But yeah, you'll see how much smaller it is. Yeah, I did feel really deflated, but I've honestly, I kid you not, every 10 minutes I'm moving that foot up and down, because I'm like, come on, you've got to move, foot, you've got to move, I've got to be okay. And honestly, guys, it has improved so much. Just by the evening of that night of me having that cast off, I can move it so much more. We're now on day 5, and honestly, my foot, I can move it so much. It's amazing. Like, not as good as compared to my other ankle, but I've improved so much. So in 4 weeks' time, hopefully they'll see a difference with me, because we definitely can with me being able to move it. But yeah, basically, don't know why I done that, but we're all good. The horses are all fine. I have got another chatty vlog about Mittens, but this vlog is long enough. So apologies, guys, we're on hold. I know we just got back showing. I don't want to talk about it because I'm absolutely gutted, but there will be vlogs coming, I promise. And Dan had the chiropractor out yesterday, so really happy with him. It's just his routinely checkup, basically. But no, I'm all good, apart from literally going up the wall about being stuck indoors, but I have got out. And I am seeing the horses, and I'm hoping it's not going to be too long. I'm going to be back riding my Dan the Man, and back to work, which I'm so excited about. My bosses have been absolutely incredible, messages me every single day to see how I am, and sends me photos of the horses every single day, which just makes my day. It's so lovely. I'm really, really missing riding them, and seeing them. But yeah, hopefully it won't be too long, and I'm hoping that I am going to have a little bit of the summer. It might be more near the end of the summer that I'll be getting out and about of Dan, but I'm really hoping. I'm so determined to get back stronger than ever. I've got lots of physio appointments that I'm going to be going to. I'm trying to move my ankle as much as possible to strengthen it up by the next time I go to the hospital. I'm feeling really, really positive with it. And the good thing is I am very, very determined. So even if I do say so myself. So I'm hoping that, fingers crossed, I might be back a bit sooner than we expected by me just being determined and yeah, with it all going smoothly, but we will see. But of course I'll keep you all updated. Sorry it's been a big gap between my last vlog and this vlog. I was hoping to get a vlog out sooner, but it's just been an absolutely crazy 4 weeks, to be honest, and I haven't been in the best of moods, guys, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, I don't want to say I hope you've enjoyed this vlog, but please make sure that you like and subscribe if you haven't already. I know it's going to be a bit bad over the upcoming weeks, but I will try and keep you guys updated, try and vlog, and we will be back better than ever. So I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.